Hello everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see how I can write the bin definition for this customer.java inside this Java configuration file. So this example is based on the Java configuration, and inside this configuration file, I have to write the bin definition. So this example is free from the XML configuration. There is no more XML configuration for this example. So to write the bin definition, what I can write and how I can write the bin definition. Before that, if you have remembered how I was writing the bin definition based on the XML configuration and what Spring was internally doing after reading that bin definition, I mean to say how Spring was creating the object after reading all those bin definition. If you have remembered all those points, then it will be easy for us to correlate, or it will be easy for us to write the bin definition based on the Java configuration. So let me show you, and then we'll start writing the bin definition here. So first, let me show you how I was writing the bin definition and what container was doing internally. So this was the XML, and here you can see this is the one of the bin definition for one of the bin, and this is the bin. This is the bin definition for bike. And after reading this bin definition, after reading this entire bin definition, what container was doing? Container was trying to create the object for this bin. And then after that, here on the line number 8, I was using the property tag, and property tag we will only use if I want to inject the dependency based on the setter injection. So what container is doing internally, they are trying to call the setter method corresponding to this property. So the setter method corresponding to this property, nothing but set model. They are trying to call, they will check is this set model or the setter method corresponding to this property is available inside our bin or not. If it will be there, then they are trying to call this. If it will not be there, we'll get the runtime error, and we have seen those kind of the scenario in the last example. So here they are trying to call this set model or setter method for this model, and whatever the value I was passing, the same value I was passing from here. And then the second again, we have another property tag, and the same rule will applicable on this tag as well, or the same rule will be applicable on this bin definition, like on this line number 9 as well. So here, reading this bin definition or reading this tag, the container was trying to call the setter method for this price, and the setter method for this price is nothing but set price, and we are trying to pass this value for this inside this set price. Now, this was done by I was writing this bin definition, and this was done by the Spring container. Now, the same thing I'm going to do inside the Java configuration. The same thing I have to do for the customer. So, customer bin. So, what I will do, I will get the object for the customer, and customer bin also you can see here, this customer bin has two dependency or dependent on the two data member. One is the name and other is the long. So these two here also I want to inject based on the setter injection. So what I will do, I will call the setter method. I will call the setter method for this two data member. So I will create the object for the customer first, and then I will try to call that two setter method. So what I will do, I will try to open this file in the parallel so that you can easily able to correlate. Let me open this file in the parallel. So now here, this is the XML file, and here we have the configuration file. So to write this logic or to create the object and to write this entire logic, what I will do here, I will create one method. So the method I will create, and the method name can be anything. So I'm going to create the method name as a create customer. You can give any name. And as we know, if you are going to create any method name, we have to provide the return type for that method. Here, what return type I can write? So we have to write the return type. We have to understand for which bin we are writing this method. So this method or this bin definition, I'm going to write for the customer bin. So if this is the bin definition for the customer bin, the return type will be the customer itself. If the return type, if the return type is here, there is some typo mistake. So customer. If this bin definition for XYZ class, then we'll make the return type as a XYZ. If this bin definition for ABC class, then I will write the return type as a ABC. Now what I will do? So the same thing what Spring has done for the bike here, I'm going to do for the customer here. So here I will create the object first. So we'll write customer C. We can give any reference value and then new customer, I can say. Okay. After this, we have to call that setter method. So we have two data member inside this customer. Let me show you again. One is the name, other is the phone number. I'm going to call the corresponding setter method for this data member. So I will call the setter method for the name and I will call the setter method for the phone number as well. So let me come to this configuration file. I will call the setter method for the name first. So set name. Now we can pass any value from here. I am passing Rakesh. You can pass any value, and then again we have one more setter method. The setter method is the phone for the phone number, so I'm calling the set phone number, and now we can pass again any value from here, so I'm passing any random value from here. Now you can see here still I'm getting some compilation error, and if you point the cursor here, that's showing it is showing the why it is giving the error, or what is the error it is showing here. So you can see they are giving two options to fix this error. One, add the return statement. So you can see here this method has the return type as a customer, and I'm not trying to return anything, and because of that reason they are giving the error, or they are giving the suggestion that please add the return statement. If you do not want to add the return statement, then they are saying change the return type to void. I mean to say, if you change this customer with void, and we know that this void is no return data type, then you can see there is no error. But since this is the bin definition for customer, I cannot use the void. I have to go with customer. We have to return the customer object from here, or we have to make the return data type for this method as a customer itself. So we cannot change the return data type. The return data type is always customer for this bin for this method. Now what I can do then, I can add the return statement inside this method. So we can return the object for the customer. So here C is holding the object for this customer. I'm returning the C from here. Now, if we'll compare this bin definition with the bin tag, which I have here inside this XML. So here you can see I was using one special tag, and the tag was nothing but the bin. And based on this bin only, I was saying this is the one of the bin definition. Here also we have to use the similar kind of the annotation on top of this method. Until unless I will not use that annotation, then the Spring will not understand this is the bin definition for any of the bin or for any of the class, and or we can say the container will not give any special treatment to this method. So here I was using the bin tag, same as what annotation I can use here. So I'm going to use the similar annotation, and the annotation name is nothing but add the bin. And this bin is available inside the package. The package name is nothing but org.springframework.context dot sorry this one is so it is available inside the org.springframework.context.annotation. So both annotation are in the same package. Either it is the configuration or either it is the beans. Both are in the same package. Now this bin annotation has same meaning what bin tag we have here. Both has the same meaning. Now now you can see each and everything is fine here. Now what I can do now, let me run this example first and let me show you what is happening now. So what I will do, I will just save this program now, okay? And now what I can do, I will come to this main method and I will simply run this class. So how I can run, I will do the right click, and after right click, we'll come to the run and we'll click on the Java application. Once I will click on the Java application, you can see here right now it is printing only one message, and that is from this class. This is only printing this message. My question is here, why the Spring is not, why I'm not getting all those messages which I have written inside this constructor or inside this setter method. Why why this message is not getting printed? How I can print this method? So one thing might be you can ask, sir, you can call this method, and if I call this method, then internally we are trying to creating the object for the customer, and here I'm calling this constructor. So this constructor will get called and this message will print. But I do not want to call this method by myself. I want to give this responsibility, or I want to register this bin with the container. Once this bin will get registered with the container, then internally the bin will call this method. And once bin will call this method, then only this this logic will get execute, and once the logic will get execute, whatever the message I have mentioned inside this constructor or inside this setter method, all will get printed. So now question is here, how I can create the container and how I can register this bin with the container. So somehow now I have to create the container and I have to create the object for the container. So what container I can create here, what container I can use here, that I'm going to discuss in the next lecture or in the next video.